Okay. Is this thing on? Probably not streaming. If I was streaming right now, that would be pretty weird, to be honest. Oh, okay. I am streaming right now. I guess that means I'm live. Welcome to my first live stream. Not only on this channel, but ever. This is probably going to be really weird, and I have no idea what to say. So bear with me. But if you find it in the future, I guess it all starts right here. So yeah, let's get started. I guess I do have a goal to show you today. This is a project that I've been working on for a while, and let's see, it's called, I don't know what it'll be called eventually, but tentatively it's called a Racer. Pretty cool little flying ship. If you're unfamiliar with Lumen, Lumen's a whole planet, and with a whole like culture and civilization and all that stuff, technology, cool para nature, which is just like, you know, an interesting natural world. I'll just start there. There's a bunch on the YouTube channel, but I guess this is the first vehicle that I've decided to make, and I've kind of messed around with calling it the Leapfrog, hence the feet. I don't know. Those are just kind of temporary placeholder. In fact, quite a few things on this are just temporary in place. In fact, the whole thing is just temporarily in place. That's just kind of part of the art process. So I highly doubt anybody will join this stream, but if you do, let me know what you want to see, because I honestly have no idea. I'm just kind of showing you stuff. Yeah, anyways, let's check this out. I'll show you. It's kind of cool because like the doors shut. Oops, don't move it. Oh, that's also an Unreal button. And like this thing opens. It's kind of cool. The doors go up. Also kind of cool in my opinion. A little biased, but what? Oops. If you look inside, you got kind of, it's definitely highly inspired by, well, I'll actually show you what it's inspired by. My ultimate dream car, which is the McLaren Senna, which is this, which, maybe I shouldn't say this. What if that's a copyright thing? I don't care, whatever. They built a badass car. How can they blame me for, you know, being inspired by it? This is the McLaren Senna. I probably would have chosen a different color. It's ultimately my dream car though, and I kind of wanted to, you know, just use that as inspiration when designing this. If you give me one quick second, I would hate to have been streaming this entire time just to realize there's no volume. Okay, I had to check that. First stream ever, you know. Honestly, I'm surprised I didn't get halfway through it before realizing there's no volume. Always a good thing to check. Anyway, McLaren Senna, that's the dream car. I love it, and that's what inspired the Racer. So let's take a look at the Racer. Boom. I kind of wanted to like start live streaming just my artistic process to kind of show everybody, you know, a look behind the curtain. I release so much art all the time that it's just a different look to look into the scenes. I personally love it when creators do this, so, you know, maybe you guys will too. Yeah, looking inside the cockpit, so far it's completely unfinished. Got a lot of dashboards and seat stuff and luggage compartments and whatnot to fill in, but the cool part about this is there's no engine, so there's a lot of space, so I'll be able to kind of make some cool inside stuff. You do fly it with a joystick, so I know I wanted that. I'm blocking this whole thing out, so I just put that there to, you know, just serve as a placeholder. Got some cool seats. Here's something that's kind of cool. On Planet Lumen, let's see, kind of the main propulsion thing or whatever is these heavy magnets. It's called hilo. It's this kind of diamond plate thing in the center. Um, and basically it is a magnet to this big metal plate up here. And basically it allows it to levitate. Ooh. And that's how it flies. In fact, that's how everything on Lumen flies. There will be eventually a whole entire explanation on Hilo and how it works, and more pictures and stuff on lumen.wiki. But for now, I do not have that. So use your imagination, I guess. Um, the Racer, so far I have it to where it kind of, it's in. Actually, let me return the trunk back to its normal state. And then if I play the animation, it kind of shows you how like the legs eventually will move. Obviously, the legs are all placeholders. The feet, it's all placeholders, and yeah, eventually they'll be pretty cool and actually function and be like fully thought out, pieces of the whole thing. But for now, it's just a pole. Uh, but I guess what's kind of cool that I can show you is this is this is more of what the leg will look like. Instead of a frog foot, it's going to be these kind of like toes that go in, but they're also webbed so that it can kind of walk on water. Like you ever see those lizards that run across the water? They're able to do that because of their webbed feet, basically. And so this will kind of be like that. So sticking with the theme of just blocking everything out, that's what I have here. This was totally all of this. In fact, this whole entire foot took me like 2 minutes just to block out. But and it's a total work in progress, but it'll get there. You can kind of see what I'm going for. You got these like shocks that'll absorb, and eventually they will all be connected into the whole thing, which will be really cool, and it's going to be sweet, and it's going to take forever. So let's make some progress, shall we? I'm not entirely sure what I wanted to do, but I wanted to do something. But okay, here's something I wanted to do, and I know I can do. The funny thing is, you guys will see how I'm such a terrible 3D artist. I really, really am. I mean, you guys see the finished product, and usually it's pretty cool, but what you don't see is the fact that like 90% of the time when I'm actually creating things, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. It's truly just not even a process of trial and error. It's a process of error and a slight bit of luck, because eventually, every now and then, I kind of get lucky enough to actually come up with something usable. And so I guess let's refer to this as attempting to harness luck or whatever. Sure. Okay, so what I want to do right now is, if I can remember the hotkeys, and also this, I'm going to hide, because I'm just tired of hiding it every time it comes up. Boom, boom, extras, boom. Now that's going to be hidden. Cool. What I want to do is create a little, kind of like a wing, kind of like a hood scoop sort of thing. And that's going to kind of come off of this back part. So I guess if my goal in streaming is to show you the behind the scenes process, I will start by saying that I have no idea what I'm actually doing. Like as far as the vision goes, or technically, but as far as the vision goes, I just want to add like a little fin, basically, I guess would be a good way to put it. So let's start off by doing that. I think I already messed up. No, I can make it work. All right. Turn on some proportional editing and make sure that I select all the way through. Boom, boom, boom. I want this to kind of fit a little bit better. Um, it's probably really funny to see like a work in progress because I mean, if I was like looking at this, I'd just be like, what the hell are you doing? That looks ridiculous. And that's what 90% of art is. It's like, that looks ridiculous, that looks ridiculous, that looks ridiculous. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, dude, that's badass. That's cool. I wish I would have thought of that sooner. So, yeah, that's what the goal is here is just push luck and see what happens. First of all, I just wanted to start by conforming this a little bit to the actual body. Guess it's probably shouldn't have it go over the window, should I? Yeah, let's make it to where it stays about there. That's one of those things, you know. I should have done that like from the start, but I didn't. So I'm basically just going back and doing it as I go, because that's what art is. It would be pretty crazy if I could somehow like whoops, not hit R. If I could somehow like find a way to create things right the first time without having to go back and redo them later, I would save so much time as an artist. But I think it could be argued that it just wouldn't be as fun. All right, sweet. That's kind of looking cool, kind of fitting on the body there. It's a little unproportionate for there's like this whole weird dip right here, but whatever. I'm gonna figure that out. And yeah. So anyway, let's see what I can do with this. I think it would be really cool if I like, oops. First of all, turn that off. Hit E, Z. I kind of had it in mind to where, you know what? I take that back. I'm going to do instead that, but include these ones. Yeah. Let's see. And in fact, I'm going to add all these. Boom. E, Z to extrude. Like I'm kind of sort of going for something like this. But that's not exact, not at all what I'm actually going for. But it's kind of gonna sort of look like that. Cool. Let's see. I come over here to local. Yeah, I've always been highly inspired by cars. And it's kind of funny because like I'm super inspired by nature way more than cars. And so far in this world, it's like I've only really worked on nature. I haven't really worked on cars or vehicles, I should say, that much, which is funny because I do love it so much. So it's kind of fun to actually get to work on a car. This is badass. I go to a lot of car shows or car events. I guess not a lot, but you know, I'm a busy guy. But yeah, my philosophy is always just to F around and find out. And that's kind of what we're doing here. Actually, that's 100% what we're doing here. Anyways, so before I go any further, I want to make it the same color as the car. Is that the same material? It is. And then, if I come up here and add a subdivision surface, boom, now it's starting to look like an actual fin. Dude, that's actually sick. I mean, it's getting there. It needs to be more like that, but like, that's sick. That's pretty cool. I didn't think I'd like that so much. Definitely need to increase this guy a lot. Boom, and see what I mean? Like, when you make art, it's really funny because a lot of it's just like, you don't see the vision until suddenly you see the vision, and it's like, dude, that's sick. And this is one of those times. But it needs to be more than just look cool. It does need to actually look right. Right now, you can see all the waves and stuff, and it doesn't look right. Give me one quick second. And so we got to fix that. So let's fix it. Okay. So how do I fix this? That is another part of art. You just kind of like don't always know how to fix stuff, and like especially in programs like Blender or Unreal Engine, there's just so many ways to do one thing. Whoa. So oftentimes it's just about finding one way to do it, and sometimes those ways work. Okay, cool. I got that fin. I think what I want to do though is first of all make it way thinner. Let's isolate it, and I think I'm good to like cut a lot of these off. Started with a cube. What happens if I do this? What the fuck? Oops. I was gonna try to not cuss on stream, but part of why I want to do streams is so I can just be authentic, I guess. It's like I'm literally a video editor, so I deceive people by showing you exactly what I want to show you. But when it's live, I can't do that. So if I do something bad and I say fuck, I can't edit that out. So I probably shouldn't have just said it. Anyway, let's see. My first streaming rant. But I think that's what's really cool about streaming, and I think that's what one of the things that you miss when you are just when you just make videos or make highly edited stuff anyway. So during my rant, I realized something, that I should just cut this bottom part out instead of flattening it like I did, because that was kind of a dumb way to do it, to be honest. I kind of am not sure why I did it like that. So let's do this the proper way, because I don't know if you guys like watch this because you're into 3D art, or if you like my art, or if you make stuff in Blender or whatnot. In fact, I would really love to know. So let me know in the comments what you guys do, what draws you into this. It really helps me as a creator to know what to do, what to show you, if I should get technical about it and stuff like that. Which I guess all of that was a long-winded way to say. I don't even remember where I was going with that, honestly. I think I gotta get my streaming talk down. Anyways, I wanted to cut all this so that I can make this a thinner slice, and then also make that a way thinner slice. Oh yeah. Cool. Bring in the racer. I kind of thought about calling it the Toad or the Leapfrog or something. Massive Halo fan. They got the Warthog. I want a Leapfrog. I'm definitely my second biggest fan. Third. Only behind my mom and dog. Anyways, want these to all be at least a little bit more even with the body. So, yeah, it's funny. I'm sure, back to the whole I don't know what you guys do thing, but if any of you are 3D artists or like Blender masters, I bet you watch some of the stuff that I do and you're like, bro, that is the dumbest way you could possibly do that. And I mean, feel free to roast me for that, but just like you're probably right. I really oftentimes don't kind of. I'm sure there's way better ways to do half this stuff. Cool, dude. That's pretty sweet. Honestly, I really love that, and we just made it together in 20 minutes. How cool is that? So I'm gonna rename it. Fin. It's called a fin. SN dash underscore fin. If you use Unreal Engine, you know where that comes from. Let's see what it looks like together when it's all open. Dude, that's freaking gangster. That's so cool. That's an awesome little addition. Uh, one funny thing that I like to say sometimes is like, oh, come here. Jump, jump. This is Zilla. You've seen her in some of my videos if you watch them. She has no idea she's internet famous right now. Look at the camera. That's sick. Anyways, I'll pay attention to you later. Where was I going? Okay, yeah. Oh, sorry, buddy. Basically, like the funny thing about half the stuff that I make is that I can't actually explain how it works. Chill, chill. And I like to just basically say like, oh, if I was a scientist on Lumen, maybe I could explain that. But I'm not. I'm just a man. So I can't explain exactly how this works. I did just realize something as I was ranting, and that I think it looked pretty sick if this had a wider base like this, and then as it came up to the top, boom, and it thinned. Yeah, there we go. It's so clean. It looks like it just is literally a part of the body. Oh, that turned out great. And eventually, later down in the process, I will combine everything into one body. But that's a whole process. So right now, I'm just kind of making a bunch of like individual parts and seeing what works. Cool. So that works. We have a fin, and now it's time to move on. It's hard. It's hard to find like all the right words to say. Sometimes I'm just like, you know, typing or talking, and yeah. Anyways, it's a process that's just going on. What should I do next? I kind of wanted to make something with the wings, but I didn't really know what. In fact, I didn't even know if I wanted to keep these wings like this or not. Um, yeah. I kind of like it with just one wing. I kind of like it with all three of them. I don't know, man. If I actually had some like an audience, I would really love to hear your guys' input. But I realized one thing I did want to do with this selection. Boom. Um, and that is I kind of want it to bend. Like, if you guys know anything about cars, think of a Koenigsegg Jesko, however you say it. And the wing like bends. Guess I'll show you if I can get it to work right. First of all, I think I'll need to do a few loop cuts. And by a few, I kind of mean a ton. Let's literally do like 100. Oh yeah, you can't see all my settings because My face is in the way. That sucks. Simple deform. All right. So basically, I want the wing to bend, kind of around the car. Not that way. Oh man. Simple deform around axis is so weird. I always forget you have to move this some kind of way. Yeah, there we go. Dude. Yeah. Sweet. That's actually kind of cool. It's getting there. Yeah, I kind of wanted to. That is a little extreme. 45. No, let's try like 15. Yeah, just kind of subtle. This is one thing about one thing about art, I guess, is you're always thinking about how subtle something should be, because if you compare something subtle with something not so subtle, the not so subtle thing, well, they both stand out from each other a lot. But this car is kind of all like kind of extreme, which is kind of cool. But I don't want it to be like too flashy. I think because the thing about Lumen is like nobody needs a car. There's a whole bunch of lore that goes into it, but you know, it's kind of like a driverless city in a way. But a lot of people still drive. I'm just talking about like in relation to our society these days. It's quite different. And one of the things that, well, let me explain. Like the mechanics of driving is way different. Because like this is a flying personal vehicle, and that works because the whole system has, or like everybody on the planet basically has smart contacts that illuminate things directly into their eyes, and that's how they see the road. And it's also how like, well, okay, no, it's not how they see the road, but the system, kind of like Google Maps or something, it shows people where to go so that they don't run into each other. It's all timed on AI, so like you're still driving, but Arwen, the main character in the story, not really character, but basically controls transportation, and it like a driver or a flyer or a pilot or whatever, I don't know what they'll be called, but the person who commands this vehicle they'll have full control over it. But yeah, they'll just be kind of looking like through their smart contacts in their eyes, which will be illuminating a path for them to follow. And they can, if they want, deviate from it, but of course, kind of like our society and laws, they would be subject to traffic violations. You can't escape that, even in fantasy. And on that thought, I need water. I will be right back. It's not far, I promise. And I can still talk. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, good stuff. If you're somehow still watching this, I highly advise you and remind you to drink some water yourself as well. Anyways, that was a very, very roundabout distraction. Let's bring the rest of the wing back. And these, of course, are now off. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, though, I kind of think it would be really cool to just make this thing a little bit more extreme to, finish off that entire rant that I just went on. And to do that, I don't know what I want to do, but I think it might be kind of cool, at least, to like, well, give it a little bit of a blade, sort of. Yeah. Eventually, I want to have a bunch of like uh, individually moving mechanics to the whole car, really, but to this wing. I think it'd be really cool to have it be in the car world what's considered active aero, which is basically it. Like if you go to brake, it'll tilt up so it can help you brake. High low, if we bring it back to this propulsion system right here, which is a magnet, basically that interacts with the core of the planet. It is so effective that you don't need like any moving part on the actual vehicle to act as aerodynamic control, but because this is kind of like a sports car or racer or whatever, this is, it just helps it to maneuver. So like active aero and stuff would be really cool to just kind of make it perform a little bit better. And so yeah, that's kind of like I still have local highlighted, but honestly, I think that it probably didn't matter. It didn't. It didn't matter. That's fine. Okay, cool. Check that out. That's pretty sick. What else should I do? This goes back to the whole an audience would be kind of nice thing, because I would like to have some input. I definitely want to. You can see how like it's got some steps to it. Shouldn't do that. That kind of looks dumb. So let's add a subdivision surface and see where that goes. That works, but it messes with that edge. So what I've got to do is add another loop cut, but should I do that? I could also just shade smooth. Oh, that didn't work. You can still see it's got some issues. Yeah, that doesn't look good. You can fix that by going to mesh, shading. I don't know which one of these will change that, but one of them might. There we go. Which is funny, it fixed that, but we're back to the whole serrated step thing. I don't think that's the right word, but whatever. So I'm going to use a subdivision surface, but because that leaves these edges kind of weird and rounded, which I don't want, I'm going to have to add a loop cut right there. Yeah, and then bring it. Uh-oh. Gotta turn off proportional editing. And bring it as far out as I possibly can. Boom. That's better. Hell yeah. Dude. Now that's looking like an actual wing. Let's fix this side too though real quick. Cool. Still getting some of that problem. Why? Would it be because of this maybe? If anybody's made it this far in the stream, it's funny because it just has like moments where it all comes round circle, because this goes way back to the whole beginning when I was talking about how this is just a process. Things go wrong and I have no idea what I'm even doing, but I just start and eventually it kind of turns into something. And this is one of those things. Okay, so as you can see, I've got all these weird banding issues that go away when I go to edit mode. That's weird. Let's try applying that. Oh, that's because edit mode removes that. Okay, let's try. Excuse me. I did just eat big, fancy chicken dinner. Great. Highly recommend it. Why is this not working now? Oh. Object. Oh, oh god. Totally lost my train of thought there. Anyway, I need to try to figure out why one of these has to change it. Maybe I have to highlight all of them. Trying to get rid of that weird line banding thing. Did I do it? Oh, I had high hopes for that one. Let's go back to smooth faces. Well, darn. Why does that happen? Oh, that froze for a second. Thought Blender was about to crash. Honestly, I got lucky because it didn't. But oftentimes when things go wrong and you have weird issues like this, there's no good way to fix it. Or at least I'm sure there is. I just don't know it. Oh man. Oh no. Oh no. This is not good. If anybody joins my stream right now, they came at a good time. Because this is like classic Blender move. Classic Blender move, man. It's funny, but oh, there we go. Yes. It's funny because that happens all the time, and I've just learned to like shrug it off because every time that it happens, I'm like, it's free, it's free, it's free. You know, if I was paying a lot of money for it and it did that kind of stuff, I'd be pissed. But Blender is free. Cool. Anyways, let's just try instead of because subdivision surface is giving me a weird issue, so I'm just gonna like try fixing it in other ways, like subdividing more. So I'm gonna try that, and then let's see if flat faces works now. Shade smooth. Whatever, Blender. Be stupid. Anyways, sometimes. Oh no! Oh, sweet. I have learned in this craft just when Blender acts silly, it's not worth like fixing things until you have to. Because the ironic truth about just a lot of art is if you spend a ton of time on the small details when you're still making something, oftentimes you end up changing that thing and you don't even end up using it. So, yeah, in instances like that, I'm just going to be like, time to move on. Forget about it. Okay, so let's move on and forget about it for now. If I ever end up actually using this wing, because all this is temporary, I will fix it. But, yeah. Anyways, oops, I just realized I moved that. Okay, so I don't know, man. What about this like double decker wing thing? It's kind of cool, but I feel like it looks like a Koenigsegg Jesko, which is where I got the inspiration from in a way. But I kind of don't want these to like. It's kind of weird how they just are tilted. Also, let's see, is that the right way? Nope. -45. Ooh, way too much. All right, 20. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Does that work? Nope. Oh, that was the same thing. 25. Let's try that. Nope. It's deceiving. It's hard to tell. whole 35. Oh, I see what's wrong. Let's just move the whole thing down a little bit. Because I curved it, this side's more in than the other, of course. Guess that makes sense. Boom, boom. Yeah, dude, that's pretty cool. Oh, if I shoot smooth, I get that stupid error again. Oh, man. Just because this one's not subdivided, let's see if this works. Because if this works, huh, I don't know, man. Shading, smooth edges, whatever. Whatever, Blender. Okay, so I'm just trying to get this wing to like fit right. I don't want it poking out the top like that. But I also don't want this, so I gotta like rotate it. And you know, all of this is it's just temporary, honestly. It's I think I was saying, maybe I didn't, but I want to make it all to where it like actually actuates. So these actually move, and eventually they'll be, you know, motors or hydraulics or whatever, and they'll kind of tilt on their own, you know, to affect the aerodynamics of the movement of the vehicle. And so, long story short, these are just kind of a temporary little placeholders. Uh, this will go way back to the beginning of the stream if you were listening, but basically everything on here is just a temporary placeholder just to see if I like it, and then if I do like it, then I'll kind of, you know, make some more details, and that's my art process. Whoa, why did that? Oh, that was location. My bad. I needed it to tilt. There you go. All right, time for some hydration. Cool. That looks pretty sick. Cool. Like it. Let's do the bottom ones now. So I think these ones look like they fit better already. Just gotta move them up. Boom. Did that work first try? Nope. You can see it poking out the back. Yeah, don't want that. Cool. That looks pretty good. Just like that. So now, I just want to put it on the other side, and doing that is pretty easy. You just duplicate it, and then location, make it a negative, which puts it on the other side. And that brings up a good point, which is symmetry in this. All of this is, if you do symmetry right, and you have to do symmetry right, it makes it really easy, because then you can just kind of like duplicate something, and then like if I want this perfectly over here, well, let me give you a better example. If I want this perfectly on that side, like when I made all these wings, I duplicate it and then just make it the opposite value. So on the Y, you know, it goes to the other side. Because this whole thing is perfectly symmetrical, it goes to the exact right spot. So that's, I guess, a very long-winded way to say symmetry in art in this kind of work is very, very important. And you want to make sure that you're always being symmetrical. Sick. So far in the stream, I got my wing dialed in a lot more, and I got the fin. Maybe instead of calling it the leapfrog, I should call it like the sky shark. Oh, that's actually cool, dude. The sky shark. Oh man. That's actually cool. I like that. Make it blue. Sky shark. See what it looks like in Eevee, which if you don't know Blender basically means, oh no, take sunlight into account. And if you do know Blender, you might be wondering why I use Eevee instead of cycles. So technical description incoming. I don't know. I don't have a reason, honestly. I actually prefer cycles. I've got the RTX 3090 in my graphics card, or my computer as a graphics card, and so yeah, it can handle it pretty well. But it's kind of funny. Eevee didn't used to handle glass very well up until recently, so I'm like not used to it. It's kind of weird. You know, it'd be really, really badass, dude. What if it was like, you ever see those cars that have that copper kind of windshield? Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. Oh, this is why I love 3D art. Just do anything. I can't wait. By the way, like I've got the whole vision in my head already. You know, when I bring this into Unreal Engine, which is always my destination software, which is where I do my materials and texturing and stuff. I don't ever do that in Blender for various reasons, but I do it in Unreal. And so, anyways, like right now, I see it way beyond what it is now. I love carbon fiber. Like I said, I'm a huge car person, and a lot of cool cars have carbon fiber. So basically, I'm gonna use a lot of carbon fiber in this, like the skid plates and oh yeah, the diffusers. The skid plates will definitely be carbon fiber. These guys, but these diffusers right here, I'm not sure. These feet will eventually, of course, kind of properly go up into the body. I was also just looking at this wing, and I saw something. Oh, so let's make something here. I just had a cool idea. So I'm just gonna duplicate that. Make sure it's duplicated. Bro, Thunder keeps freezing. Boom. Okay. Oh, I love science fiction and fantasy. It's such a good escape from the world. Okay, so right now I want to make a cool end cap. And I think it would be awesome. Yeah, let's just start with this. Dude, why is Blender freezing so much? Anyways, let's bring back the actual wings. Now I've got this like, what's this? Oh, shit. Okay, we've got a leaker. I'm sure that means that this one is doing it too. Yep. Boom, boom. Okay, anyway. I'm going to bring back the side piece. It's all about the side piece. Let's give it some dimension somehow. How could I do that? What would be the best way to do that? Come up here to local. Oh God, that was the wrong button. Let's see. Okay, I want to see the vertexes and go to probably extrude on the Y. Let's try that again. Okay, let's bring back the wing and see if that even lines up. I forgot that it has the, oh, you know what's hilarious? It's got the subdivision surface. But the funny thing is, if you've been on the stream for a while, you will know that the end cap on my wing here has all these weird issues when I add this back in, which I need to go, okay, hold on. Sorry, I'll get back to where I was, I promise. Shading, smooth edges. Get out of edit mode. 76,000 verticals. That's a lot. That's not bad though. Okay, wait. I'll get back to the end piece in a second, I swear. Did I just try that one? I think I just tried that one. Even I'm confused. It's just, sometimes it's all about just trying different things. Dude, whatever. Why do you gotta be so dumb? I don't know. Whatever. I'm gonna worry about that later. So anyways, the end caps. I want to make these just have like, oh dude, yeah, like you see some sick cars. They always have this. Boom, dude. There we go. It doesn't fit just right though. And oh man. Oh, I wish I could just live in this world. I mean, I kind of do, but that creates issues. See, aligning this, if I thought about this, wait a minute. Oh man, if I thought about this before I applied the simple deform, I wouldn't have to deal with this. However, this is the world that we live in. Maybe if I just go on the very top, what the heck is that? Hide that. Okay, so first of all, I didn't mean to click that. Boom. Is that right? Yeah, dude, that's pretty good. Cool, but it needs to be longer, clearly. Man, it's already been 52 minutes that I've been doing this. That's crazy. My dogs keep looking at me like, who are you talking to? Hey, buddy. Oh, Ringo wants to say hi. Nope, he didn't. I'll say hi to him, though. Okay. Cool. That's looking pretty cool. Probably for like the third time, I will point out all this is could be or could be not temporary. I don't know. You know, it's just like all about kind of making some placeholders to get the design, to get the look down. And then once you like all the pieces, then you kind of go in and put the actual detail in it. So stuff like here where it's clearly not perfectly aligned. I mean, okay, yeah, I'll go fix that right now. But it's not like always necessary. It's just necessary because I really like the design element and kind of want to keep it. So let's just do at least a little bit better at lining it up. Whoa, that was way off. Oh, shit. Whatever. Want the graphic mode, don't want that. What does this look like, I wonder? Subdivision. Okay, yeah, I'll have to fix that if I decide to pursue this. But for now, I like that. Let's just keep it there. Cool. And this goes back to the whole symmetry thing, because now if I want to, because I do want to place this, I just duplicated it. If I want to place it on this side, all I have to do is come over to the Y location and make it a positive instead of a negative, and then take a couple of the parameters, not sure which one's off the top of my head, definitely not that one, and reverse it, either make it a negative or a positive. That doesn't work. Why? Well, because this is a positive, and this, I don't know. Well, here's what I can do. Sometimes things just don't go according to plan. Honestly, like, I feel like nothing in life ever does. I think life is all about having improvisational skills. Cool. That makes it look just a little more like a race car. It's kind of cool. I think, let's try this. Because I want this to stand out. Each element to stand out. Okay, let's see. How should I do this? I'm going to make all of these wings the same material. Boom. You guys, they'll all be carbon fiber eventually when I run into Unreal Engine down the road. So anyways, let's take these end caps and make them a different color so that they stand out a little bit. End caps, boom. Just for now, just for visualization purposes. Just so I can look at it and be like, yeah, that works. Why is that one so hard to click? Boom. Cool. There we go. Sweet. Small difference. Oh man. Still sticking out. Boom. I don't know. Again, for the 100th time, it's temporary. So whatever. I'll come back and fix those when/if I decide I even want those. And I will go for the end cap for these too. Honestly, I would kind of like to make those. Anyway, that looks freaking sick, dude. With the wing curved, which I just added and you guys watched. Thank you very much. God, it just looks so cool. That added so much presence to the wing. And then the fin here, that added so much presence too. What I call it, the Sky Shark. Guess that's some more progress I made on this stream. We potentially named our vehicle Leapfrog, Sky Shark. Gosh, I don't know. I didn't get a single viewer on my stream, but if you're watching it now, let me know what you think I should name it. If you're watching this in the future, it might already be done. So go to lumen.wiki/skyshark, and if that's another thing, go to lumen.wiki/leapfrog. And if that's not a thing, I don't know. It's going to be somewhere on there, and it'll have some name or another. But anyways, I guess that's kind of all I wanted to do on my not only very first live stream on this channel, but my very first one ever. Let me know, how did I do? If you're watching this, I'm sure you watch a lot of other streamers. The thing is, like, I honestly don't care if you don't love it. I hate to sound like that. But, like, I had fun. Making things like this is definitely a very meaningful experience to me. And I guess I put it out there because, maybe it'll mean something to others as well. Maybe not. I don't know. It would be one thing to just keep this all to myself forever and always. But, sometimes I think the world just needs more people who are offering things that help people, uh, which I hope doesn't sound like self-serving or grandiose of self, but my favorite artists, it might sound a little trite to say, but they saved me, and you know, yeah, maybe this will save somebody else someday. So that was my very first live stream. Not gonna be my last, but actually had a lot of fun. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. But also, how do I even end this?